talk about my dream that I had this week. And I know everybody's always saying, no one wants to hear about your dreams. No one wants to hear about your dreams. People, they say, like, when you say you want to hear about my dream, people say yes to be polite. They never want to actually listen.
That's not true.
Thank you, because I love hearing about dreams. Also, you can't deny my dreams are always a roller coaster from start to finish.
As someone who doesn't like to waste their time, dreams are usually like big and fantastical and like all these things. We're in mall world where you're floating in the air on the elevator or all these things.
I haven't been back to mall world, Donnie, since she started selling merch and I said, I'm not going to do that. I haven't been back. So I don't know if I've
been banished, like Richard
broken
II.
free from the FBI's shackles, or if I have been banished by corporate mall world.
That's crazy.
Honestly, after I tell you about this dream, I'm begging to go back to mall world.
But that's what I mean. I'd rather, whatever this vision is that you're about to tell me, I'd rather hear about that than someone's like real life thing. Like, oh, I cleaned up dog shit today and then went to work for 8 hours. All right, Gracie, thanks.
Yeah, I also feel like I know when to tell a dream and when to just say, I had such a weird dream last night and give cliff notes. Because, you know, sometimes you wake up and you're like, wait, what just happened? And you have like little flashes. So sometimes I turn to Dr. Ball and I'm like, I had the weirdest dream last night. I was walking on the moon and a dog was taking a shit and I was mad at you because you were having sex with Elmo. You know, something like that. Like, just give him the cliff notes.
Yeah. You know how I used to be a pervert?
Used to.
In high school, me and these 3 girls had a sleepover. I think I was out, but this was my, like, bi era. I was using bi as just a word. Well, I wasn't. Maybe I was and I didn't know because I'm back, baby. But I was using bi as a word. So I liked boys and girls. And I had a crush on one of the girls at the sleepover. So we read something, or it wasn't a TikTok back then. So I guess we really did read something that if you say a word like 50 times before you go to sleep, that's what you'll dream about. So we all said the same word 50 times out loud and went to sleep to see if the plan worked. Everybody woke up. And then the 3 girls really did dream about that. And I said it out loud. That's where I lost the plot in this. I said, I didn't have a dream, so I'll make one up. I should have just made one up. And then I proceeded to tell them whatever the keyword was, like musical or rehearsal. I included that in there. But then I also told the girl that I had a crush on, it was a sex dream about you.
Yeah, I think that stating that you were actively making it up is where it gets an extra level of creepy. Because I think that telling anybody that you've had a sex dream about them is borderline inappropriate depending on your relationship. Like, nobody walks away from that feeling more secure or comfortable in a relationship when somebody's like, oh, I had a dream that we were 69ing last night. But certainly you saying, off the top of my head, we were having sex. We hooked up.
Yeah, that's weird behavior. But that was before my growth spurt, before I got rid of my glasses, and before I got my hair cut by professionals and not my mom. Once that all happened, then I became fully gay and I was popular. But this is still when I was a weirdo. Anyway, tell me about your dream.
I did have a dream that I was having to break up with my boyfriend. You might be familiar with him, Donald Trump.
Oh.
So I realized that I had been in this like situationship with Donald Trump and we were at a golf course because, you know, my dreams are nothing if not realistic. And I was coming to and I was like, oh my God, I'm like talking to Donald Trump. I need to end this. So we were walking and I like got him away from his family so we could like take a walk so that I could break up with him. In my dream, I was very, very intentional and specific with all of my friends to let them know that we had not hooked up yet. We had not kissed. We had not hooked up. So I do like that even in my dreams, my subconscious was protecting me of like, don't worry, baby doll. He's not on your roster. So we're walking away so I can break up with him. And he thinks we're walking away to go to the back of my car, which was my car from high school, to have sex. And so then when I break up with him, all he did was say, ugh, and just turn around and walk away. And I was like, oh my God, he doesn't have empathy. He's a sociopath. Then I went immediately and I had to hide all of my shoes in my room. I was like hiding my shoes frantically. And that bitch did end up stealing a pair of Vans. So my intuition was right. And I didn't remember that dream until I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw, you know, one of his speeches or him standing stone-faced as a man is having a medical emergency right behind him. And I had the experience of I gasped and I had a fleeting moment of like, oh, my ex. And that's when I remembered that I had broken up with Donald Trump in my dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now, see, I would rather hear about that than you cleaning up dog shit and going to work for 8 hours.
Absolutely. Now,
Yeah.
I think it does also give a little sneaky peek into my mental psyche, because if there's any dream interpreters out there, what does it mean if I broke up with Donald Trump and hid my shoes, but he still managed to steal a pair of Vans, which are my favorite shoes? I do wear Vans every single day. I'm sure that we could really dissect that, but we shan't today.